Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sushmita. It's 31st of December, the year end, and I think most of you are busy planning get-togethers, parties, trying to bid farewell to the year with people you love. And here I am trying to shoot a YouTube video to wrap up my 2025 with the books that I read. This year has been a mix of both worlds. There have been moments where I have felt extremely happy. There are moments where I felt content, at peace, and I have thanked the universe for giving me such moments. And then there have been moments where I was absolutely devastated. I had anxiety, I started getting panic attacks, and I had to deal with it while preparing for an exam, which I cleared, by the way. Yeah, but clearing that written first step while struggling with anxiety gave me such a sense of achievement, and I still feel proud of myself for being able to study, for being able to perform well during that time. And it's all because of my friends, it's all because of the people I work with, who made it all possible, because I studied with them and they very selflessly helped me study, even though they were appearing for that same test, and it's a competitive test. This year has also been a year of discovery for me, because till now I felt like I'm the selfish one in any relationship, not just the romantic ones. This year I realized the capacity I have to love. This year I realized that I can love someone selflessly. This year I have realized that I can wish so much well for someone. I can wish someone all the happiness in the world. I can wish someone to do well in their lives, even though I know for sure that I won't be a part of that. Even though I know for sure that I won't be a part of that greatness, that happiness, that whatever great they have in life. Took me a long time to be that person, but this realization, this came at the cost of a lot of heartache, but I'm very happy for it. Also, I realized that no matter how old a person is by their biological age, they may still be so immature, so immature. There can be people so inconsiderate. Even if when you tell them repeatedly something hurts you, even when you tell them repeatedly, there are people who find joy in ruining things you love, in putting you down in front of people. When you are happy, they try to dim your light, and it's important to let them know. Now, reading wise, I haven't been able to read that many books this year. This corner of booktube is for normal regular readers. So the very first book that I would like to talk about is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. It's a beautiful, poignant story that weaves nature into this conflict between the Greek community and the Turkish community in the divided island of Cyprus, and a budding love story and the tragedy that follows the separation of the island. It was a very heartbreaking but poignant read, and I would like to rate this book 4.5 stars. The next book that I read is Days at the Morisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa. It is a very feel-good, heartwarming kind of a read, a very short book again for people having a time crunch, for people nursing a broken heart, for people looking for a light, feel-good kind of a read. This can be a perfect book for you. I give this book 4 stars. The next book is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. This book is actually divided into different sections. It is the story of different people who are at different stages, different phases of life, and they are struggling with different things, struggling to start over, struggling to learn something new, struggling to discover themselves, struggling to find purpose in life. And all these people one day walk into a community library and find the answers to their life's quest in a book from the library that the librarian conveniently hands them. And for people, again, in time crunch, for people who identify with these kind of phases of life, this would be an ideal read for those people. I would like to rate this book 4 stars. Next is The Book of Everlasting Things by Achal Malhotra. I can add this book to my favorite book list. It was a gift from a very dear person, and the way the story is written, the way the story is, the writing style, everything the book holds, the book has now become so dear to me. It is a story set in partition, beautiful tragic love story between a Hindu perfumer and a Muslim calligrapher, their separation. And it also brings into life all the peripheral characters, gives them nuances, gives them dimensions, gives them depth, a writing style so poignant, so beautiful, so flowy. I absolutely fell in love with this book, and it's a very sure 5-star read for me. My next book is Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. It's a historical fantasy book which is taken from a time of Bolivian politics. It is a YA fantasy, and it consists of a very strong female protagonist, and also contains forbidden love. It also contains this idea of us versus them, of people invading other countries, or who how to unite people who are divided by ideologies, who are divided by race. Give this book 4 stars. The next book is Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. It is a mythological retelling of the Greek tale of Medusa, a serpent-haired goddess. In this book, she is a mortal raised by her sisters, the Gorgons, Uriel and Steno, and it ultimately follows her story as in the Greek myth. But this book very aptly questions that who do we call monsters, because people who are monsters in someone's stories might be people loved and adored and cherished by others, and people who are considered heroes in some stories may be the monsters, the villains for others. The writing style was simple, fast-paced, and devoid of any pretenses. The next book is Menaka's Choice by Kavita Karni. Again, an Indian mythological retelling. It tells us the story of the celestial being, the Apsara Menaka. In Indian mythology, we find Menaka as this beautiful seductress who is even able to seduce the Rishi Vishwamitra. But in this book, we get a deeper exploration of her character, her ability to love, her ability to question, her ability to be fierce when it comes to her beliefs, when it comes to people she loves. And it gives Menaka more depth and makes her more well-rounded compared to just her objectification or glorification as the ever beautiful, ever young Apsara. The next book is The Answer Is No by Frederick Backman. Of course, Backman is one of my favorite readers and always the person whose books lift me up when I'm low. The Answer Is No is a very short read, so you can pick it up if you run low on time. It's about a loner who prefers to stay indoors, not interact with people, but one day a frying pan gets left unattended in the society that he lives in, and this leads to a whole series of comical events. It is a feel-good, witty, funny read that you can finish in just about an hour, and I would like to rate this book a 4.5 stars. The next book is The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. It's actually a reread for me. I read it to make a YouTube video. This book tells us the story of Mahabharata through Draupadi's point of view, and we get to see a character who is flawed. Even though the book claims to be a feminist retelling, I found so many issues in this book which has been discussed in a video of mine. You can go through it if you wish. I would like to rate this book 3 stars. Next book is Yakshini by Neil De Silva. This is a fantasy book. This is about a Yakshini who gets cursed to be born in the mortal world as a girl, and then she has to navigate her life in the mortal world as a woman who cannot desire someone who comes near her desiring her is bound to get killed. Then how someone navigates that life and how she deals with it. I would like to rate this book 4 stars. My next read is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is a dark academia book for lovers of such genre of reading. It is set in the 1850s reimagined magical world in England, where the empire uses language as the tool for dominance over other countries. It would have been a 5-star read for me. As usual, which I find consistent in R.F. Kuang's books, is that she always fumbles the ending of books. She took a brilliant plot and built up all the characters, the storyline, the arcs, and then I feel like it gave a very lukewarm ending to such an epic venture. I give this book 3.5 stars. The next read is Rukmini by Sai Swarupa Iyer. This reimagines the story of Rukmini, who was married to Krishna. We don't find much detailed mention of Rukmini in most stories or in our epics. So the author tries to imagine her, this person who left her father's kingdom to marry a person she fell in love with, someone who had to deal with sharing that person with so many other women. What would be her inner life? How would she be? And the book again, as usual, when we delve into such stories, the book again tiptoes around a controversial take, but still I feel like it managed to do a deep dive into Rukmini's character, and it gave a proper characterization of this great character from Indian mythology. And this book was a 3.5 star read for me. The next book is something that I absolutely abhorred, and I woke up in the middle of the night to rant about it. It was Ashtamahishi by Radha Vishwanathan. It talks about the 8 prominent wives of Krishna. It did nothing but fangirl over this idea of one person marrying multiple women who live like sisters without any problem, without any quarrel. It felt like the fan fiction written by some self-proclaimed alpha male types. And I would like to give this book 1.5 stars. Next book is this, Ajaya, the collector's edition of the 2 books by Anand Nilakanthan, Roll of the Dice and Kali, The Rise of Kali. This book reimagines Mahabharata from Duryodhana's point of view. If you are someone who hasn't yet read the epics, who hasn't yet read the Mahabharata, I do not suggest this book for you. First, you should read the Mahabharata, because if you go to this firsthand, it will give you a very skewed idea of all the characters. And for people who have this idea of blasphemy, who are like, I want to protect my gods, I don't want anyone taking my gods and making them characters in a book, then don't read this book. If you are someone who's extremely religious, this is not a book for you. It is better to not read this book than come to some platform and yelling that books like these should be banned. Okay, do not read this book. But for people like me who loves mythology, who likes the Indian culture, who likes the epics, who has read the epics, but they also like to read stories where the narratives are shifted, as Anand Nilakanthan does. He reimagines Mahabharata through Duryodhana's point of view. So beware, here your beloved characters will be the villains. Because from Duryodhana's eyes, he was in the right and others were in the wrong. Others wronged him. If you are uncomfortable with such perspectives, do not read this book. I personally loved this book, the language, how Nilakanthan builds every scene. If you read the first chapter, you will be hooked. And I would like to give this book 4 stars. So there. These are the books that I read in 2025. Not many, but here I am at the end of the year making this video, and right now I'm doing well. I hope you are as well. For people who have watched my video till now, thank you. Those who have subscribed to my channel, thank you. For new viewers, for first comers, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also share it among your friends. Bye.